Recently, both DICE and EA have confirmed that a new competitive feature will be introduced to Battlefield 1 called Battlefield Incursions. I don't want to go too much into detail since most of you have probably seen the gameplay trailer, so instead I'll be talking about what I've read coming from the DICE developers along with my own opinion and thoughts on this news. To me, this has been a long time coming for the Battlefield series. Many people in the community have been asking for this since, from what I remember, Bad Company 2 and probably even further back than that. One of the reasons being that, at least speaking for myself, public matches have gotten more boring or redundant as time has gone on. An example that I could give is that since the French DLC, which was released almost 6 months ago, I have been at rank 110, so there hasn't been much for me to work towards besides kit ranks and personal stats. Done. It has been announced that the Incursions game mode will pit a squad of 5 players on each team against each other. From what we can tell from the trailer, there are going to be multiple kits to choose from, unlike your standard kits from the base game, such as an assault or a medic, with each being beneficial or harmful to your team depending on where you are in the stage of the game. This is coming from what I have read from the Battlefield Incursions Reddit page, which I will link into the description if you guys are interested in seeing some responses from the DICE developers as well. I do personally believe that they will find a way to make the 5 vs 5 a fun, well-balanced game mode, even with a tank, which I know many people have been worrying about on the forums. However, I do hope DICE does eventually decide to pursue implementing an 8 vs 8 or slightly higher competitive feature for bigger teams and for that true Battlefield experience. Obviously, 16 players on a team would be way too much, so I feel 8 players aside is a perfect size for big team matches. I also believe they wouldn't have to start from scratch because using Conquest as that player counts main game mode would be perfect in classic Battlefield. As I mentioned before, there has been much debate on whether having a tank in the Incursions game mode will be good or overpowered because of the low infantry player count per team. As I stated earlier, from what I've read through the Reddit page, DICE is trying to find ways to ensure balance between the two and have said they were personally pleased with how games played out. I personally feel that a tank in any competitive mode that DICE introduces is necessary because that is what I feel makes Battlefield Battlefield. On the competitive scene, you would need something to separate itself from COD, CSGO, or Siege, at least in my opinion. I'm also interested to see if they decide to keep the light tank as the only tank you can choose from. It was announced that in the closed alpha, only the light tank would be made available. Now, I'll just run off some things I personally would like to see when the final version comes out. One thing would be competitive ranks are introduced. An example would be like what we see from Gears of War, where there's bronze, silver, and gold rankings and so on and so forth. Whatever rank you are placed in, you would be versing players of similar skill levels. The next would be having leaderboards, which tracks stats such as wins, kills, skill level, and so on. I think this would be a nice little fun addition to have something for players to strive for. Another feature which I would like to see be introduced, however, I'm not sure if it would be likely, is an integrated match finder system. This is where teams can find other teams to verse through a system in the menu, rather than using a third party to coordinate them. But even if this is not seen, I'd still love and would more than welcome using a third party to coordinate matches against real teams and real clans. Finally, my last request would probably be creating a separate feature for bigger teams, as I said before. Something like having 8 vs 8 or 10 vs 10 Conquest mode would be perfect. And that's it for me, guys. Let me know in the comments what you guys personally feel about the new game mode. Anything you liked from what I said, or if you have something that you would like to share, let me know in the comments. Alright guys, thanks.